The energy of New York City during the early days of summer is always palpable, but as the metropolis moves closer to the major midsummer holiday weekend, a completely different kind of electrical charge seems to be flowing through the grid of Manhattan. For days, the usual rhythm of the city that never sleeps has been subtly disrupted by a wave of intense speculation, focused entirely on a single iconic location that has stood as the epicenter of global entertainment for generations. Onlookers and seasoned journalists alike have noticed an unprecedented shift in the atmosphere surrounding the monumental structure of Madison Square Garden, an arena usually reserved for historic sporting matches and sold-out rock concerts, but currently transforming into something far more mysterious and vastly more exclusive. The surrounding streets, typically bustling with the standard chaotic symphony of yellow cabs and rushing commuters, have instead been overtaken by an elaborate, highly coordinated logistical operation that hints at an event of unprecedented proportions. It is the kind of ambient tension that only occurs when the worlds of elite pop culture and massive public interest collide, leaving the public to wonder what monumental spectacle is about to unfold behind closed, heavily guarded doors. The sheer scale of the preparation suggests that whatever is happening here will dominate global headlines for days to come, marking a historic moment where ordinary life in the city pauses to witness a gathering of true cultural royalty as the mysterious activities intensify. The speculation radiating outward from Midtown Manhattan has begun to capture the imagination of millions around the globe who are desperate for even the slightest hint of what is truly transpiring inside the famous arena. Unmarked heavy transport vehicles have been lining up along the loading docks for days, unloading massive crates and highly sophisticated technical infrastructure under the watchful eyes of strict coordinators who seem completely immune to the inquiries of passing fans and paparazzi. This sudden massive influx of premium production gear and specialized crews has effectively turned the perimeter of the venue into a fortress of secrecy, fueling a wildfire across digital platforms and traditional news outlets alike. For anyone trying to keep pace with the rapidly evolving narratives of modern entertainment, moments like this represent the absolute pinnacle of breaking news, which is exactly why keeping a close eye on these developments as they happen is so essential for media observers everywhere. If you want to ensure that you never miss a single detail or an exclusive breakdown of the world's most captivating stories as they break in real time, taking a quick moment to subscribe to this channel and enabling updates will guarantee that you remain at the very forefront of this unfolding phenomenon. The unfolding situation in New York is a testament to how modern celebrity culture can completely reshape the physical landscape of a city, drawing a line between the ordinary public and an elite universe of glamour that is about to reveal itself. To truly understand the gravity of the tension currently hanging over the city, one must look closely at the physical clues left behind by the massive crews working around the clock to reshape the interior and exterior spaces of the world's most famous arena. On Monday morning, a fleet of specialized trailers began arriving at the venue, carrying heavy automated staging equipment and complex electronic arrays that are rarely seen outside the context of multi-million-dollar global stadium tours. Observers quickly noticed that some of these transport units bore distinct markings linking them to elite scenography and stage manufacturing firms based in Los Angeles, companies renowned for creating breathtaking, immersive environments for the absolute highest echelon of live performers. The presence of these specific heavy-duty systems immediately elevated the situation from a standard high-profile private gathering to something resembling a full-scale theatrical production. Designed to manipulate space and light on a scale that defies the imagination, adding to the growing sense of drama was the brief appearance of a massive red carpet meticulously laid out over the grand steps leading into the arena, only to be abruptly and mysteriously rolled back up and discarded at the frantic direction of an authoritative coordinator. This sudden reversal turned what had been an orderly setup into a scene of controlled chaos, leaving the exhausted work crews to feverishly undo hours of precise labor while hints of internal frustration began to show among the event's inner circle. This strict enforcement of operational secrecy has created a vacuum of information that the public is eager to fill, especially considering the extraordinary lengths to which the organizers are going to prevent a single leak from escaping the perimeter. Every single technician, stagehand, and security guard stepping foot inside the venue has reportedly been forced to surrender their personal cellular devices at the start of their shifts, ensuring that no unauthorized photographs or insider details can make their way to the public before the official hour arrives. The streets surrounding the loading zones have been completely cleared of civilian traffic, lined instead with heavy metal security barriers and official notices declaring the entire area strictly off-limits for an extended window stretching across the holiday weekend. This total lockdown of a major Manhattan hub speaks to the vast financial power and social influence of the figures orchestrating the event. Individuals who are capable of commanding the full cooperation of urban infrastructure to protect their privacy. The atmosphere is thick with anticipation as the city holds its breath, waiting to see how this immense investment in security, design, and absolute secrecy will ultimately manifest when the hidden curtain is finally lifted. The stage is set for a historic convergence, and every indicator suggests that the hidden narrative driving these extraordinary preparations is about to rewrite the rules of modern cultural spectacles. The veil of absolute secrecy surrounding Madison Square Garden has finally begun to fracture, exposing the jaw-dropping details of a wedding extravaganza that is rapidly turning into the most expensive and secure private celebration in modern New York history. The mysterious architectural transformation of the iconic arena is no longer just a subject of idle neighborhood speculation, as official documents and high-level field reports confirm that global pop icon Taylor Swift and professional football superstar Travis Kelce are the architects behind the staggering, multi-million-dollar takeover. At the center of this unfolding spectacle is an unprecedented logistical operation designed to completely isolate the celebrity couple and their ultra-elite circle from the outside world, creating a high-stakes environment where immense wealth meets the absolute pinnacle of state-of-the-art security. To achieve this level of total insulation within the heart of a bustling metropolis, the couple has reportedly spent an astonishing $3 million just to rent the massive arena for a continuous 3-day window, a time frame meticulously divided into stages for complex technical installation, the main festivities, and the subsequent total breakdown of the custom-built environment. This massive financial expenditure represents only the baseline foundational layer of an event that is reshaping the traditional boundaries of high society celebrations, transforming a legendary sports venue into a hyper-private sanctuary where every single detail is engineered to radiate maximum luxury and tightly controlled drama as the physical structure of the wedding venue takes shape under a cloud of tight security. The extraordinary financial commitment required to protect the couple's absolute privacy has sent shockwaves through both the entertainment industry and local municipal observers. High-level insiders have revealed that Swift and Kelce have allocated an eye-watering six-figure sum totaling nearly $160,000 exclusively for an overwhelming law enforcement presence to patrol the perimeter and interior of Madison Square Garden. According to reliable municipal sources, the New York City Police Department has coordinated a massive tactical deployment for the main days of the event, assigning more than 70 highly specialized detectives to work intensive 8.5-hour shifts dedicated solely to the security of this private gathering. The hourly compensation for these elite investigators ranges between $80 and $90, accumulating a massive base expenditure of over $95,000 just for the detective units alone. This heavy specialized force is being further reinforced by an additional 50 uniformed police officers tasked with maintaining an impenetrable perimeter around the entire city block, working grueling 9-hour shifts at an hourly rate of approximately $70, which adds another $63,000 to the soaring security bill. When factoring in the mandatory presence of top-ranking department officials and specialized administrative supervisors who are required to oversee an operation of this magnitude, the total cost for public safety resources paid for by the couple comfortably surpasses the initial $160,000 mark. Illustrating the staggering price of absolute anonymity in the modern age, the sheer scale of this security apparatus reflects the growing tension and chaos occurring just behind the scenes as elite production crews fight against the clock to fulfill the perfectionist demands of the bridal party. The atmospheric friction reached a visible boiling point when a senior aide representing the pop star appeared on the grand steps of the arena, wielding a walkie-talkie and looking visibly frustrated as she ordered the immediate destruction of hours of meticulous labor. A massive red carpet that had just been carefully laid out across the entrance was abruptly ordered to be rolled up and entirely removed from the site, sending waves of confusion through the ranks of the feverishly working technicians. Industry insiders later clarified that the sudden removal was triggered by a major color discrepancy, as the original red carpet did not match the strictly mandated royal purple aesthetic that has been chosen to define the visual identity of the entire celebration. This sudden logistical setback turned the loading zone into a scene of intense pressure, forcing crews to work without the aid of their cellular phones, which had been systematically confiscated at dawn to prevent any unauthorized imagery or leaks from exposing the design mistakes to the international press. The physical environment remains highly restricted, with heavy metal security barriers fortifying the perimeter and official municipal signage declaring the entire multi-block radius completely off-limits to parking and civilian transit for a multi-week window leading up to the holiday, while the physical transformation of the arena creates a fortress in Midtown Manhattan. An entirely separate psychological drama is playing out among the exclusive circle of individuals who have actually secured an invitation to this historic event, in a move that highlights the obsessive level of control governing every single facet of the nuptials. The wedding guests themselves have been kept completely in the dark regarding the precise location and nature of the ceremonies they are traveling to attend. Sources close to the inner circle have revealed that invitees were simply instructed to arrive in New York City by a specific date, without receiving any further geographical coordinates or structural details about where the actual vows would be exchanged. This calculated withholding of information has put some of the most famous celebrities and public figures in the world on a state of indefinite hold, creating an atmosphere of intense anticipation and mild confusion as they wait for a secure digital link to be broadcast to their devices. To further guarantee that not a single detail of the multi-million-dollar affair escapes into the public domain, every guest who successfully RSVP'd to the initial invitation was automatically routed to a mandatory, legally binding non-disclosure agreement. This strict legal contract explicitly forbids family members, lifelong friends, and elite Hollywood peers from discussing any element of the timeline, guest list, or interior design, ensuring that the entire narrative of the weekend remains completely weaponized under the couple's total ownership. The culmination of this extraordinary multi-million-dollar operation reveals an unprecedented blueprint for a modern high society celebration, split meticulously into two distinct phases that perfectly mirror the dual lives of its famous protagonists. High-level planning documents reveal that the festivities will initiate with an ultra-exclusive, deeply intimate gathering inside a heavily modified sector of Madison Square Garden, designed specifically for immediate family members and the closest childhood friends of the couple. This highly restricted initial phase is engineered to provide a rare moment of genuine emotional tranquility, shielded entirely from the intense glare of global media attention, allowing the couple to exchange their sacred vows in a space that feels remarkably secluded, despite being situated in the heart of the world's most famous entertainment arena. However, this quiet elegance will rapidly give way to an absolute sensory explosion the following evening, when the venue transforms to accommodate a massive star-studded reception, hosting roughly 1,000 carefully vetted attendees. This secondary phase is being described by industry insiders as a masterclass in modern scenography, featuring a complex architectural setup managed by top-tier production firms that have integrated heavy automation systems, modified shipping containers, and automated lighting grids to construct a breathtaking, dreamlike environment that defies the traditional boundaries of standard wedding design to elevate this massive spectacle into a true cultural milestone. The couple has reportedly enlisted an extraordinary lineup of musical legends to provide the soundtrack for their historic weekend, drawing directly from their deep personal connections across the entertainment industry. The iconic rock vocalist Stevie Nicks, a longtime artistic confidant and personal idol of the bride, is slated to deliver a highly anticipated, deeply emotional performance during the main reception, anchoring the event in a sense of timeless musical history. Joining her on the grand stage is country music titan Tim McGraw, whose involvement brings a profoundly full-circle narrative to the evening. Considering that the pop star's very first major commercial breakthrough in the music industry nearly 2 decades ago was a self-titled track named directly after him, the inclusion of these specific musical giants transforms the evening from a standard celebratory reception into a historic private concert experience. utilizing specialized sound systems and heavy electronic arrays that have been systematically loaded into the arena under the cover of total secrecy. This masterful blend of stadium-grade live production values and deeply sentimental artistic partnerships illustrates exactly why this gathering has captured the global imagination, cementing it as an event where massive public scale and intimate personal history are seamlessly woven into a single, cohesive tapestry of modern pop culture. To fully appreciate the gravity of this momentous gathering, one must look back at the remarkable parallel journeys of the two individuals at the center of this global media storm, whose initial crossing of paths felt to many like a literal Hollywood script. On one side stands a generational musical force who has spent nearly 20 years rewriting the rules of the global entertainment economy, shattering industry records, and filling massive international stadiums with a fiercely loyal fan base that hangs on her every poetic lyric. On the other side is a fiercely competitive, multi-time championship-winning professional football star whose undeniable charisma, athletic dominance, and cultural resonance have made him one of the most visible and celebrated figures in the world of modern sports. When their worlds officially collided, the resulting cultural explosion transcended their respective fields, captivating a diverse demographic of fans who watched in real time as a high-profile stadium romance evolved into an enduring, deeply committed partnership. Their relationship successfully bridged the distinct universes of elite athletics and global pop music, creating a unique cultural phenomenon where football stadiums were suddenly filled with young music enthusiasts and international concert arenas routinely cheered for gridiron victories, highlighting the massive, unifying power of their shared journey. The romantic foundation for this historic Madison Square Garden takeover was officially cemented during a beautifully orchestrated, highly private moment that occurred late last summer in Kansas City. In a stunning display of romantic ingenuity, the professional athlete secretly transformed his expansive backyard into an absolute wonderland of floral artistry, creating a deeply private, hidden garden paradise explicitly designed to shield the monumental question from the ever-present eyes of the international paparazzi. When he finally dropped to one knee to pop the big question, it marked the beginning of a meticulously planned journey toward the altar, a milestone that the pop icon later shared with millions of delighted followers via a series of heartwarming, deeply candid photographs on social media. Her witty, instantly iconic caption jokingly describing the union as a marriage between an English teacher and a gym teacher perfectly captured the self-aware, grounded humor that has defined their public relationship from the very beginning, endearing them even further to a global audience that had watched their romance blossom under an intense public microscope. That quiet, intimate moment in a hidden Midwestern garden stands in beautiful, stark contrast to the massive, multi-million-dollar skyscraper-sized production currently unfolding in the center of Manhattan, serving as a powerful reminder that beneath the layers of heavy police presence, strict non-disclosure agreements, and stadium-grade automation lies a genuine, deeply personal love story that continues to reshape the landscape of modern celebrity culture.